We've all been there, flying through the air like a limp fish with no direction or clue what we're going to do next. And that's okay. If we don't know what we're doing, our opponents certainly don't. But today we're going to look at how to stop being that fish and how to start air dribbling. Thankfully for us, air dribbles can be broken down into three basic components: the setup, the jump, and the carry. So it should be easy to learn, right? Not exactly. So many players who are trying to learn their air dribbles fall into this common trend of using training packs to hopefully improve their air dribbles, which in reality is actually holding them back. Training packs poorly resemble in-game scenarios, and if you find yourself able to air dribble in training packs, but when the time comes in-game to show off all of your practice, you just seem to fall flat on your head, it's probably because you haven't been practicing your setups. The importance of practicing setups in free playing is insane. Each time you set yourself up, you have slight variations. Maybe the angle, maybe the speed of the ball, maybe your jump. And what this does is it teaches you how to perform the mechanic in a variety of situations. The experience gained from that alone may be the sole reason you're unable to air dribble in-game. So, to kick it off, we're going straight into free play and we're working on our setups. We're going to turn your limp fish aerials into an air dribble to actually be proud of, and something that looks a little bit like this. The first step into practicing this setup is using the up on the D-pad. It spawns the ball on the hood of our car, and it's going to allow us to just get multiple repetitions of rolling the ball up the wall at about this speed to get a good setup. Once we've gotten good at rolling our balls, we need to know where to hit the ball. The curve on each wall in Rocket League, I swear, is the bane of my existence. It causes problems with jumps, it makes me just look like I actually have no thumbs when I play. But that stands true for our air dribbles as well. We have to make sure we're contacting the ball after this curve. If we do happen to hit the ball on the curve, it's probably just going to go straight up and not pop off the wall at all. And if we hit the ball too high above the curve or at too high of a speed, then it's slamming the ceiling and bouncing back down. Now that we know how to roll the ball and where on the wall we need to hit the ball, now we have to talk about how to actually hit the ball. And this is the final and last crucial step to our setups. We have to create space between us and the ball, and that space is usually about the length of our car. And the way we create that distance consistently is when we roll the ball at the wall, we lightly tap brake, and then on the wall we tap boost to go back into the ball. If you're struggling to get that perfect distance, I actually came up with a way that I use personally that I prefer more than braking. As we dribble towards the wall, instead of braking, we turn slightly to the left and then turn back to the right, and this creates the same distance as applying brake. If we've learned the setup properly, now without even us touching the ball, each and every time when we make contact, the ball should be popping off towards center field as well as towards the opponent's net. With our setup complete, let's talk about how to jump. Now the jump can actually be the trickiest part of learning how to air dribble. We want to make sure that right as we hit the ball off the wall, we're jumping to follow it. So, just like our setup, we're going to roll the ball at the wall. As it gets above the curve, we hit the ball and jump at the same time. As we jump, we're also going to air roll so that our tires are facing the ground. This makes the aerial to catch back up to the ball much easier than trying to fly upside down or sideways at an angle. So to learn to air roll, make sure you have air roll bound. Just to be sure, we can open up our settings, head over to controls, and view change bindings. We're going to be looking for air roll. I have mine currently bound to L1. And then depending on which wall you're jumping off of, we're going to be putting in two different inputs. If we're jumping off the left wall, we're going to be holding our air roll button while pushing left on the stick and slightly down. And if we're jumping off the right wall, we're going to be pushing right on the stick and slightly down. Once we've mastered our jump, we're going to the carry. Alright, since we've gotten good at our setups and gotten good at the jump, all we have to do is learn the carry. Contrary to what you might think, this part should actually be the simplest. I know, what am I talking about? But hear me out. Mechanically, there's nothing crazy. We're just aiming to hit on the underside of the ball to make sure it's staying in the air, and we're also just guiding it right and left. The key element to performing a good carry is to make sure we don't tape down our boost button. A lot of the times once we jump off, we're holding boost, zooming at the ball, and the next thing we know, we're hitting it way too hard or we just miss it. We're trying to match the speed of the ball with our car, so we're going to be doing that by feathering our boost to try to maintain control over our speed and direction. What I mean by feathering our boost is instead of just holding down boost the entirety of the time, we're just going to lightly press it repeatedly to either hold our same speed, same height, or direction. The best way to practice this is just go into free play, jump in the air, and practice tapping your boost. Try to keep yourself at the same height and try different speeds. This element is crucial for our carry because if our car and the ball are traveling at about the same speed, then no matter the touch we get on the ball, it will stay close. Congratulations, we now know all the steps to make a good air dribble. As with anything, this will take practice, but I promise if you use these steps and you even just spend 5 to 10 minutes a day, your air dribbles will improve. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if I helped.